for today's movie review, I'll be reviewing the 2016 American animated superhero film Batman, The Killing Joke, the movie that's based upon the graphic novel of the same name by Alan Moore. Also, this was the first DC animated film to receive an R rating, which is very unusual because most of them are just PG-13 for the most part. And this was originally supposed to be Mark Hamill's last time playing the Joker, until he got roped into voicing the character again for the upcoming Justice League cartoon. But when this film was initially released, not many people seem to have liked it. Now, I didn't look too much into the reviews, but I decided, you know what, I'm gonna watch this film and make judgments for myself. And upon watching it, the big question is, did The Killing Joke need to have an R rating? As for the plot in the movie, Batman discovers that the Joker has escaped Arkham Asylum yet again, and discovers that the Joker's sinister plan is to drive Commissioner Gordon so insane that he hopes that Commissioner Gordon will be as crazy as he is. Prove a point that one bad day can turn someone as normal as Commissioner Gordon into someone like the Joker. In terms of what I liked about the movie, I thought the movie was well paced. The animation's pretty good, although I do have some problems with it, which I'll get to later. The voice acting out of Batman, Joker, and Batgirl I thought was well done. Then I'm not surprised since it's Kevin Conroy, Tara Strong, and Mark Hamill providing the voices for those characters, although Commissioner Gordon could use some work. Also, I think that when we do get to the actual Killing Joke portion of the movie, it does a really good job of adapting the source material and making it work for a movie. And I like the ending in that sense of it being anticlimactic, because on one hand, it's not meant to be climactic. It's just kind of meant to be more of a thinking man's kind of ending, which I find to be very refreshing out of the recent lineup of DC animated movies. In terms of what I disliked about the movie, even though I said that the animation is passable for the most part, let me get into why I think it's just passable, because when you watch the movie, it just feels like there's some bits of the animation where it looks like they're missing a few frames, and also those CGI cars just don't look good. And the lip movements for certain characters look alright, but the lip movements for the Joker just looked off to me. I don't know what it is, but it's just a combination of like the way his face is designed along with the way his mouth moves with that design. It just didn't look natural to me. Which on one hand, that's supposed to be the point of the Joker, but it just didn't look right to me. And also, let's talk about those first 20 minutes, because even though I didn't hate the first 20 minutes that much, and I get what they were doing, it's just I didn't think they needed to go in that direction, because the first 20 minutes in a nutshell is a prologue focused on Barbara Gordon, and basically what pushed her into retiring the Batgirl persona. I get the idea, but I just didn't think it necessarily needed to go in that direction. Instead, I think what they should have done was have the first 20 minutes of the movie focus on the first time Batman encountered the Joker. I think that would have made for a much better 20-minute opening as opposed to the Batgirl prologue. Also, in regards to the first 20 minutes, because even though I don't think they're that bad, it's just by the time you get to the actual Killing Joke portion of the movie, there is a clear change in both tone and writing style, which doesn't add up at all. Like, it feels like someone took two different movies and merged them together. That's essentially what the overall movie feels like to me. Also, I didn't think this movie needed to be R-rated, because between other animated movies like Batman Assault on Arkham or The Dark Knight Returns Parts 1 and 2, those are way more intense than this movie was. And I feel that The Dark Knight Returns Parts 1 and 2 borderline more an R rating as opposed to this film. Granted, yeah, it's very intense, but I didn't think it needed the R rating. So from a final verdict of Batman: The Killing Joke, this movie to me is a mess. Because on one hand, I didn't completely hate the first 20 minutes. It's just, after those first 20 minutes, and when you have essentially reached the portion of the movie based upon the actual graphic novel itself, it just kind of leaves a bad taste in your mouth. So on one hand, I don't hate the first 20 minutes, but you can skip to the part where the actual graphic novel begins. And even though the latter half of the movie, based upon the actual graphic novel itself, does a very good job of telling the story, so the movie overall I thought was just disappointingly okay. And before I give my final rating, what did everyone else have to say about Batman: The Killing Joke? So it looks like not many people liked the movie, and so for my final rating of Batman: The Killing Joke, I give it a 3 out of 5. So, what is your favorite moment revolved around both Batman and Joker? And see you later.